Hi, sisters and brothers. This is God's gift. Today is March 29th, 2016. I usually don't get end time dreams, but I did have a dream that was pretty significant, and I thought I'd share it with you. And I titled it The Storm. I wrote it down right after I had it, so it was pretty fresh in my mind, and I still honestly could say this probably verse by verse of what happened. But here's what it says. There were people gathered in a house, and we saw the moon, and it was to our right. It was kind of a whitish yellow, a huge moon. I mean, it was gigantic. And there was like, the windows were like a whole circumference, like, of the house. And I could see it was whitish yellow, and it was moving instead of east to west. It was moving with the horizon. It was just staying on the ground and just moving from right to left. But anyway, God told us that he was about to destroy things, and so we should hide. And there was a strong stone or block building, and it wasn't very big. It was probably about a 12 by 12 building. We all went out there, and there was supplies in there, like bug-out bags, where you pack these bags. If you have to go in a hurry, you have a little bit of everything in them. And those were in there, and I noticed them sitting on the floor when we went in. And we had windows in this building that were really thick. They were like 4 to 5 inches thick, the glass itself. And we were looking out of them, and it was like clear glass, like a normal window, but the windows were really thick. And I started to see the moon on our right, moving to our left. And instead of east to west, it was parallel with the ground. As it was moving, the color was changing to more of a reddish color, just slightly. And it was moving really fast, and the faster it went, the wind started to pick up, and I realized that this is it. I felt God was very angry with this world. Even though God told us to hide, I knew that he was keeping us in a safe place. I was so terrified because the wind was howling, and I started to see things flying around. The wind was so strong and powerful, it was almost visible, because it was just gathering. It was supernatural. There were shutters on this building that I started to shut, and the wind seemed like it was going to break the glass. It was just so powerful. And I remember as I was shutting these shutters, that the last glimpse of these things I saw, the moon about halfway across the full view, it was like starting to turn an orangish red in color. I knew that God's fury was not even up to its full power. I just felt this. As I closed the shutters, knowing it was going to get much worse, I began to pray that we would be safe and he would protect us from the wrath. And then I forgot to put this in there, but there was like a tin roof on top, and there was a cutout like a window. And I remember when the storm started kicking up, how worried I was that, this glass was about to break. And somebody, I don't know what this means, if anybody has an interpretation, somebody threw a cardboard box up there, and I kept thinking, why would they do that? That's not going to do anything. But as the storm was brewing, it never once moved. I don't know if anybody has an idea what that was. But then the scene switched to the storm being over, and as we started to walk outside, everything was gone that I could see. There was some trees, but they were stripped. There was no leaves on them. There was no branches on them. I mean, it was just stripped down to the bare, kind of like after a real bad tornado. And I remember thinking, I can't believe that they're still standing. There was a huge bag on the ground. It was probably like 5 feet long and maybe like 2.5 feet thick. And it was a round bag. It wasn't square. It was almost like a topsoil bag, but it was clear plastic on part of it. And I remember I looked in it, and it was on the ground, and I gathered inside there was these really beautiful fluorescent flowers. They were like a fluorescent pink, very beautiful. And let me see. And I wondered what they were and why they were in this bag. And God told me that they were used by Satan. I have no idea why he would say that. But I felt that these flowers represented the timing of the storm. like when spring bushes flowered, and I thought of azalea bushes. If you know anything about azaleas, they're usually white, bright pink, or red in color. And the thing was, I got to thinking about this after I had this dream, that those flowers, they usually, if I think correctly, they're like in the spring, early summer. But I remember I had some years ago, and I can't remember exactly what time they would flower, but I want to say between March and May. And I don't know if this is a coming storm for that time. I don't really know. If anybody has any interpretation of this, I would be so grateful. I love you all, and I just wanted to share this because I am not one to get dreams. I am always, jealous, I guess I should say. Not really, but for people who do have end time dreams. But I just thought I would share this, and I wanted to bless you all, and God be with you. We love you, and take care. Bye.